Exactly 2:30 on the Tug of Love on Radio Veritas, and as promised, I'll be talking to InvestRand founder and CEO, Mr. Ezra Rasethe. Good morning, good afternoon, sir. I'm still on morning. Hello, Ezra.
Hello, Tiiso, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and how are you doing?
I'm right, thank you very much. Yeah, well, it's the afternoon.
It's the afternoon. I don't know why I'm still on morning. It's the weather. Don't blame me. Blame the weather.
Yeah, it's very, very cold in Johannesburg.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you are keeping warm there.
Yes, thank you. Same to you.
Awesome. So I'm keeping warm as well. I'm in studio. The air conditioner, it's on warm. You know, everything, it's nice and cozy in here where I am. So yeah, we can only hope it's like that for the listener as well. So let's get into it. Let's find out more about the man before the company as well. Who is Mr. Ezra Rasethe?
Oh yeah, no, thanks for that, Tiiso. Ezra Rasethe is just like an entrepreneur and somebody who's really love property and love helping people. I've been somebody who's been business my whole life. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, you know, and by the time I was 23, I had even multiple business failures, I must say. But one thing I knew how to do was to sell, to build networks and build relationships, you know. However, one of the biggest struggles was actually getting to build a solid business. So it's also because of I'm coming from Limpopo. In Limpopo, we have like very, very successful people who are professionals, but not a lot of people who have sustainable businesses over a period of time. So I never thought it was possible to be able to build a stable and consistent business, or at least I could do that myself. And I think when I lost my couple of businesses about 23, I actually even lost some popularity because I was still in varsity at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when actually I met my first mentor who taught me, I think it was an intervention from God that time, because I met this gentleman. He just taught me exactly what I did to fail. It's like, Ezra, you do not have a business structure. You do not have a mentor. And you need to do a little bit more research about any industry that you're going to get into, meaning I need to educate myself. And that is something that I've always continued to do my entire life, educating myself, getting involved with mentors and people who know exactly what they're doing in business. And I must say, that's exactly how I got into real estate. I got an invite to like one of the seminars about Robert Kiyosaki. I'm not sure if you read a book, the Rich Poor Dad book.
Yes, it's obviously.
Yeah, so I go to my sister actually invited me to one of those seminars, and I thought the guy was here, but he wasn't here. I was excited to meet the man. And when I went there, I started investing in myself by actually using my last money to invest in a seminar. I got a mentor at the same time. I bought my first property. We managed over 100 properties or so in student accommodation and Airbnb. We continue building and helping people in South Africa through InvestRand. And that's how other people noticed what I was doing, asked for help. I think it got overwhelming because we ended up having like a lot of people on our email list. And that's how we built InvestRand, to just help ordinary South Africans, everyday people out there who want to get into real estate, to find a platform where they can be able to find investment opportunities. They can find service providers from estate planners to property managers, and also be able to manage the entire portfolio in one platform.
Ezra, for you personally, how did you know that I'm gonna invest? I'm going to start, or rather, find InvestRand, or rather, property investment. How did it dawn on you that this is it? This is actually it. After attending that sermon, did it just immediately connect with you? Tell us your journey in the world of property investment.
Yeah, that's it. I think that. So one of the biggest issues I had was, I had multiple businesses and small ventures like clothing brands and selling shoes and all of different things because I come from an entrepreneurial background, And one of the issues I had was it was never stable and consistent. I had seasons where things were good and seasons where things were bad. But I had no structure around the business that I can be able to run it. And I did not also have access to a team that I could also build as well around the businesses. So the business structure was a big important thing. So that is why when I met my first mentor, and he told me exactly that, to say, hey, you're struggling because of three things. You don't have a mentor, you don't have the right education around the business that you want to do, and most importantly, you don't have the right structure. And when I went to a seminar about property, that is what I found there. I was like, wow, so this thing is stable. You know that you have a property that you can be able to see it and touch it. You are somebody who's in control of your asset because you can actually put tenants in there, make sure that you clean it up, and it's attracting the right people. And also, most importantly, you can actually buy in the right area at the right price, etc. So I feel like there was a little bit of control one has around that. And most importantly, when you got an opportunity to mentor you through this process, mind you, there's a lot of people who start in businesses in different industries, but getting platforms was still one of the biggest issues that is keeping a lot of people stuck. So when I found that in property, I was like, look, this is exactly what I was looking for. This is what made me fail for the first time. And I'm just going to take it from there and I'm going to run with it.
Okay. So you mentioned that you empower ordinary South Africans to create long-term wealth through property investment. Please share some key ways in which your platform accomplishes this.
Definitely. So our platform, one of the biggest issues after people have education, which is the most important part of all, is after you read your books, after you go to some training or seminars, etc., is how do I get started, right?
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people get stuck because they have commitments at work, they have commitments with family. So weekend you're with the family, during the week you're at work. So finding investment opportunities becomes a problem. So when I'm talking about investment opportunities, I'm just talking about properties that are making money, so that can give you passive income on a monthly basis. And then now you can start saying you're making profit out of that, because if you're going to use Robert Kiyosaki as a reference, he always says like an asset is something that brings income, not takes away money. Of course, that's his own definition because there's different philosophies there, but I like that definition. Yeah. So if we are using that, finding properties that are going to be bringing money into your pocket becomes a big problem because it can take you in between 6 to 8 months to find a good property. And that is finding it, negotiating it, doing your due diligence to check if all the compliance and paperwork are in place, and making sure that it's financially viable, not only now, but over a period of time. And you also know what you're going to be able to do on that property in order for you to maximize the value. So that's exactly why we created investment. We just created investment to do that entire process for our clients. So when they come to our platform, they find a property that's already been vetted, that is already being checked on the compliance document side to say, do we have any proper financials? Are they up to date? How are the levy statements? Are there any things that people need to know about there that are red flags? Are there any compliance from plans to all of the other documentation that is required? And most importantly, is it financially viable? Does it make money or return or passive income for an investor? And then they just find a property like that and then they manage to put in an offer. So that is just number one, right? The second thing that they find is the support, because after you buy a property, it's all nice and well. After you sign an offer, you get approved and you get excited. So what happens after it gets transferred? That's where the issue actually happens, because now you have to put a team together to help you run that property so you can focus on your career and focus on your family, right? So getting the right property managers was one of the biggest issues we've seen so far. Getting the right estate planners to help you in order for you to know on your are you buying through a company or through a trust, or exactly how you must be structuring your portfolio and also optimizing your financials, or maybe growing a portfolio. That is where a lot of people were getting stuck. And that's exactly why we created our marketplace to say, okay, let's not only help people with the getting started on a step-by-step process on how to find a property that is profitable, but also let's help them when it comes to finding the right service providers and the team they need in order for them to succeed when they're building their portfolio. So that's exactly where we put our marketplace together, and we continue helping people on a day-to-day basis. I promise you, we have people who come knowing nothing about property. There's a gentleman who ended up buying like 4 properties in 12 months. And we also find people who knew something about property, but maybe they've never played in a different segment, who managed to expand their portfolios on a day-to-day basis. So that's the beauty of seeing that people now can utilize this as one other way where they can have control over their wealth building, and they can build something that, they feel empowered to build something that they can be able to share with their family. That's an amazing thing that we get to do on a day-to-day basis.
So would you say that's part of the things that sets InvestRand apart from other property investment platforms? And what are your unique three-sided marketplace benefiting for investors, sellers, and service providers?
Definitely. So one of the things that set us apart is that we are catering for investors who are coming in looking for finding investment opportunities. And then for sellers, we're also catering for them because now they can find qualified investors who are looking for opportunities on our marketplace. So for them, where they should be like struggling to sell a property and staying on the market for a long time, they can actually be able to sell it at half the time if they use our marketplace because we already have qualified investors who are looking for opportunities. And we also help our service providers, people who are attorneys, accountants, estate planners, property managers, etc., and construction people as well, to be able to find a place where they can be able to find people to serve, and that's exactly why we're connecting everybody else on our platform, so they can be able to help, building a community where we would get lost in this market. Because to be honest, the property industry and the property buying process is something that is a long value chain and is broken. It's a little bit fragmented. So bringing it together just helps people to streamline the entire process of building wealth, because you need each and every person in order for you to be able to build wealth at the end of the day. And that's exactly what's making us different and set us apart as a marketplace versus different portals that are out there right now.
Now, you mentioned it as a means of wealth creation, the focus on property investment, and it has gained so much prominence in recent years in the country. So how do you see this approach benefiting South Africans, especially given the economic landscape currently?
Yeah, that's an amazing question there, because one of the issues we're having right now is, the unemployment rate, which is a big problem. And then also, like, the job security is no longer guaranteed, because there's not only just like, we post-COVID now, but there's not only that, there's also like a technological advancement that is creating like structural unemployment as well. People switching jobs to creating like different positions that are being created by technology as well. So there's concerns from many people and pension funds. We've seen a lot of things that are happening right now in the news that is not so nice for people to only rely on their salary, basically. So what that means is majority of the people, though, who still have jobs, can actually use their salary to kickstart their property investing journey. And not only just to buy now and wait for 15 years to make money, but buy now in right property that can actually generate them income for now, subsidize their salaries, and then also be able to allow them to have a little bit of freedom as well, because now they can build their portfolios properly. That's a very, very nice thing. And I'm even talking about people who are earning like less than 22,000 rand. There's usually like beautiful government grants where they can be able to give people grants, subsidies, basically, who are buying property for the first time. And then those are the type of people we help every day. We have people who are earning like 12,000 rand or 16,000 rand, and they can access up to 80,000 rand from the government subsidies that can be able to help them just because they have a salary right now. And they don't show what's going to happen in the near future, because there might still be like different restructurings that are going to happen because of technology, because of different things. So we're not sure. So I would say right now, an everyday person who want to actually get into real estate and they're still blessed enough to have a job and a salary, the beautiful thing is that the only thing they are responsible for is to make sure that they are paying their things on time and they have a good credit score. They're educating themselves, of course, with exactly how the property market works. And after that, when they're ready to buy a property, they already have a platform like InvestRand, which can actually help them facilitate that entire process. And not only just on buying property, but also on how do you structure this property for tax efficiency and also succession on building your legacy. That's something that's very, very important, that we see ourselves as an enabler for ordinary South Africans who are seeing a property as a gateway of building wealth, and they are very, very serious about doing that and taking the opportunity right now.
That's awesome. And please share some of the success stories or examples of how InvestRand has positively impacted the lives of everyday South Africans who are looking to invest in property.
Yes. So that's exactly what gets me excited every time when I have to speak about some success stories. I must say, Tiiso. So I'm just, of course, because of privacy reasons, I'm not gonna mention names, but we helped. The recent one that I had right now was somebody who came to us, who came to a company with a business partner. So these were two ladies who were just like speaking about, hey, I want to invest in property. And it was just a conversation in passing. They came to us. We helped them on structuring their partnership. That's a big thing. That's a very big, important thing. A lot of things and a lot of a reason why a lot of partnerships fail is because they're not structured properly. Structuring properly is why are you guys doing the partnership for, and also what is the exit strategy if one partner wants to leave and want to pursue other things. And also you need to be aware of how getting a bond as a partnership is going to affect both people. But those are some of the nuances that one needs to look into. So we helped them form a partnership. They managed to buy their first property, which is a 390 property in Pretoria. It already has tenants making around 8,000 Rand, and it's making around like a net income of around 1,800. It was an inner city property. It was a little bit distressed. They managed to get the property, fix it up, and right now they're operating and trading very, very nicely. And it's a beautiful time because we follow up with them to see exactly how is it going. I mean, for people who want to see their reviews and exactly what they say, they can also go on Google and check some of the reviews there on exactly how we help them. One thing they liked also, if you check their reviews, is exactly how our platform managed to present this opportunity and also package it so they can make an informed decision. And of course, you cannot make an informed decision without having the right information, because an informed meaning that you must have all the information in place in order for you to make the right decision there. And there's another one with a gentleman who's a software engineer. That's a beautiful one that I love. I must say, one of the thing that happened was he came here because he just also read Robert Kiyosaki book, like you said, me and you read a similar book of Rich Dad. And then he just knew, like, okay, you know what, I want to do this property thing. I don't know how to deal with it. So we helped him buy his first property. He bought his second, recently just bought his fourth property, and which is an amazing thing. He's making around 34,000 Rand per month just within 12 months, which is beautiful.
Oh, wow.
They say he came to our office recently saying next year he's coming so he can start, like looking into student accommodation and a block of flats and expanding his portfolio like that. And when he was here, we were discussing about how he must register a trust, etc., and structure his entire portfolio very, very nicely for tax efficiency. But it's an amazing story to see somebody growing from zero and following through to a point where they can actually own like 4 properties just within 12 months by just following a program, because they had a plan. And we actually did nothing. We just helped them follow through their plan that they had already, Yeah, so we just supported them using our platform and then using also our networks to make sure that they managed to achieve that. So if you can also see it online, one of the things that he appreciating was the team that he managed to get by just working with us. The people, he felt like he's not alone, finding like a community of people, being able to call at any time where you're having a problem in this process. So that's also another one as well. And then I think the last one, because I can talk too much about this stories. The last one, we had a couple who came to us, first-time investors. Both of them are engineers. And they were like, you know what, we want to invest in property, but we have an idea that this thing can make money. Let's just explore, to see what can they be able to find. After exploring, they found a student accommodation that's making them around 45,000 a month. And I think as engineers, they're having their salary and having like a student accommodation income that's making that much money for them in a month. After paying all expenses, they're making anywhere between 13 and 15,000 Rand. And let me tell you what happened. While the transfer was happening, the husband lost his job. And he went and stayed in the property. Of course, he was collecting the rental income while he was still looking for his job, fixing up the place and staying there as well. But it was not a hopeless situation for them, because they actually have an additional income that is, substantiating what they were getting from their salaries. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now, of course, he got a new job. But that is something where I'm like, wow, this was like perfect timing for them because it was not too much of a strain for them during that time because at least they had some extra income that is coming from their portfolio. And it was just like an amazing turnaround on exactly how that happened. So that's exactly some of the success stories that we can share today on how we're helping, everyday people who are knowing that, hey, I have an opportunity of having my salary. I know that this thing can help me when I invest in property if I'm doing it correctly, and I'm willing to get educated about it and make sure that I'm doing it right. So that's exactly what I can share so far.
Man, that is amazing. It is so inspiring. Yeah, it's a big, or you're giving hope, that there's a whole lot of hope. So we mustn't just give up with what's happening currently, the current state of the currency in South Africa and what's happening. I see we'll be given the midterm budget in no time. But yeah, with all that you've shared, what is your vision for the future of property investment in South Africa, and how do you see InvestRand contributing to that vision?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we have to accept is that, South Africa, like all the other global markets of property, they are just going to also get a lot of technology advancement and a little bit of, I don't want to use the word disruption, but that's the word, is because there's always going to be new ways of, facilitating the processes of purchasing property, of managing property, of putting in tenants, of helping people who are not, participate in the property market or to make better decisions much quicker, much more informed, with much better information. So that's something that we are seeing at InvestRand, and that's why we say, look, we have a simple mission. We just want to help every, ordinary South African family to own an income generation property or get an opportunity to do that through technology. We think technology is a big enabler for us to be able to achieve this, and we think that we can touch as many lives as possible. We just want to give people an opportunity, especially because we come from a past where, Black people were even previously disadvantaged to even own any property for quite some time. So there's still a lot of transformation that is required from that point of view as well. But in general, there's a lot of ordinary South Africans who can actually benefit from this as well. And the way we see this investment, we just want to make sure that we simplify this entire property investing journey. So it can be as easy as using a smartphone, where somebody can just pick up their phone, find opportunities that they can invest in, analyze the entire property numbers, because analyzing is the most important, get all the information in one place and one platform, put in an offer right there, and be able to start investing in property, and most importantly, manage their portfolio. One of the biggest issues as well about property investing that we've seen is property management side when it comes to your maintenance side of things. Your management, you can automate it to like rental collection is easy to automate, but the maintenance side of things can be a problem, especially if you want to renovate, you want to do things like that. And that's exactly where our business is focusing on, making those things easier for many ordinary South Africans, so it can be easy to do. Because right now it's a little bit difficult to do. Most people, if you ask them, why are you not investing in property, they'll tell you, look, I need to have money. I need to have like millions. They don't know that they can find a property for 300,000. They'll think that that's impossible. They don't know that, you might need to buy some distressed properties. So there's still a little bit of lack of knowledge, of course, but also, even when somebody has the knowledge, there's a little bit of difficulty in the process of streamlining the process, so somebody can now take the next steps with ease and be able to successfully invest. And that's exactly what we envision at InvestRand. We just want to make sure that we simplify that entire process to help everyday South Africans to make informed decisions when it comes to property investing.
Ezra, man, this has been such an amazing, enlightening conversation we've had. Now, as a forward-thinking entrepreneur, what advice do you have for other young innovators and entrepreneurs, of course, who are looking to make a positive impact in their communities and industries as well?
Yeah, so the first thing that I would say is, we as South Africa and Africa, we are blessed with a lot of problems. We have so many problems that needs to be solved. And we will never finish solving all of them. And the basic and the most important thing is, at least if you're well acquainted with the problem, you understand most of it, try to do more research and find out how other people are dealing with the same problem, and then find out if you cannot contribute in solving those problems. There's so many problems that we have as a nation, but it can also be seen as a blessing, because now that means that we require more problem solvers, people who are looking at advancing the nation. I don't think no one else is going to come and save us. I just think that we're going to have to save ourselves. So that's my message to young entrepreneurs and other people out there who want to be solving problems, want to be proactive. If we can sit on the sideline and complain about so many things, right? And that can be a conversation for a very, very long time. But I think I think it's about time people just look at those problems and say, okay, so instead of me complaining, which problem can I get in there and solve myself? And if just a few percentage of people have that approach, I think we can go somewhere as a nation.
And how do we find out more about InvestRand, where social media handles, website? How do we get in touch with you?
Yes. So InvestRand is just www.investrand.co.za. That is our website. And then one can also find us on it's just InvestRand on all social media platforms. We're very active on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook as well. And we have a lot of content on YouTube. It's like educative content that is free. We give away like free ebooks where you can actually get a guide on how to invest step by step, from identifying properties or even before identifying properties to what do you do after property transfers, because people don't even know what they must do after property transfer, and that's why they get a lot of anxiety. So that all information, you can find it on our YouTube channel, is just InvestRand as well. And that's exactly where everybody can be able to find us.
Mr. Rasethe, thank you so much for your time. It has been enlightening. Like I said, it has been very empowering, a teachable moment as well. So, pele, and all the best in everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Tiiso, and I appreciate you having me as well. Thank you very much.
All right, and we will connect soon to find out more about investing in property. You can visit their website as well. That is investrand.co.za, and I was chatting to the founder and the CEO, Mr. Ezra Rasethe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers. There we go.
Cheers, bye-bye.
3 minutes before 3, and that was a lovely and empowering conversation we had there with Mr. Ezra Rasethe, who's representing InvestRand if you want to invest in property.